Today I'm unboxing a Star Wars lightsaber forge Darth Vader lightsaber, and this is by Hasbro. It's for ages 4 and up. This is a non-electronic lightsaber, so this is kind of one of your standard bread and butter telescoping lightsabers, but as a lightsaber forge product, the components here, you are able to mix and match them with components from other lightsaber forge products. So let's take a look. Now I did remove, there's these little plastic pieces that are attaching these into the box, and I did remove those just to kind of expedite things a little bit here. So we have this nice emitter piece. It gives you kind of that classic slanted angled emitter look. So this one would be excellent on other lightsabers too. And then there's the hilt body. It has this sort of recessed bubble strip type patterning on it. It's pressable. I don't believe that actually does anything, but it's always nice to have something pressable. Now you have this lower section here. This is kind of the pommel section with the T-track style grips, but then one of the neat little decor pieces is that you have this kyber crystal. The only thing that would make this a little better, I think, is if this had more of a transparent appearance to it, but it still looks pretty cool, just sort of painted red. And then, of course, we have the telescoping blade. So this is one of those blades that will not fit flush into the hilt itself, but you do still get that nice wrist flick telescoping. Okay, so let's put these together. And you see it's open on the bottom, so you can even, if you had other components, you can expand, right off the bottom of this hilt to create, a longer hilt, like a Darth Maul style saber staff or any of a number of things. And what we look for is combining pieces. So like there's this open hole on the end here, and then on this section with the kyber crystal, there's this little pressable section, and we can just slide that in. Snaps in real easy. Very easy to do. So now we have most of the hilt in place. And then for this top piece, so it has the same section here, and it looks initially like you would just slide it like we did with these lower two pieces, but actually for the emitter section, we have to screw it on. So you can see there's threading here, and there's also threading inside this emitter section. So we just screw it on, but it still does align up with that kind of little button from the other section. So we've got a nice hilt. So this is if we just want the hilt by itself for some reason. Now, if you do assemble the hilt this way, you're actually too late it's too late to put the blade in. So you need to put the blade in before you assemble it. But if you're looking for something to be kind of more of a display piece at this point, this is maybe how you would assemble the hilt. But now we need to go backwards a little. It's very easy. So with any of these blades, you see how they're wide at the bottom. So you just slide the narrow part in like so. That wider bottom part is secured in the top of the emitter. So it's not, well, it's kind of nested in there, and then when we attach it by screwing in this top piece along with the blade, then everything's in place. So, nice little inexpensive lightsaber. Now the telescoping feature does only go to here, so unfortunately it doesn't go all the way into the hilt, although some of the lightsabers, you know, won't actually go all the way into the hilt, probably because it's a little tricky, you know, to get that unstuck. Sometimes they'll get a little stuck when you do that. Like, let's see. I have this Blade Builders one. And see, it's nice it fits flush like that, but then it's kind of stuck, and it's almost like you need to get, you know, you need to get like a little piece to hook through this top part of the blade in order to get that blade out. So that's kind of a benefit of the blade actually not fitting flush all the way in. And now I suppose, speaking of Blade Builders, so Blade Builders is a previous product line that Hasbro made that has modular components, you know, where you can mix and match pieces. And so, you know, people always wonder if there is a compatibility, right? So like there is a hole on this Kylo Ren lightsaber here. And let's see. Doesn't fit. Now that's kind of too bad. At least with these parts that I have, it just is looking like these components are unfortunately not compatible with each other. They're so similar, but not quite. Okay, well, let's put this back together. It is, I do like the blade though. It's kind of, it seems like a really, a reasonably solid plastic blade, you know, so that's kind of a nice part of it for sure. It just even seems like a little better plastic than this Kylo Ren one. But looking at the box again, just to take a peek, so here are some of the other lightsabers you can make. It's kind of like a High Republic style. Some of these are more just like not based on characters, it looks like. They claim there's thousands of combinations. I suppose, you know, you could scale up to that many combinations, but, you know, for better or for worse, you can have these character hilts. So, you know, on the one hand, it's like, well, that's kind of boring. If you're mixing and matching pieces, why would you want just this character hilt? Well, that might be great if you're just getting one lightsaber, right? And you really like Darth Vader. But on the other hand, it's a great resource, you know, if you are going to collect additional lightsaber forge products. You know, maybe you really like the slanted emitter or, you know, certain parts of the iconic Darth Vader lightsaber, and then you have an opportunity to repurpose that in your own creation. So there's kind of, you know, I guess it's a win-win in a way. You can have this character hilt and only this character hilt, and you know, you could also use some of your favorite lightsaber characteristics from a character hilt and incorporate them into your own original design. But at any rate, this has been a look at the Lightsaber Forge Darth Vader lightsaber, non-electronic telescoping blade. What do you guys think? Feel free to comment below.